How's it going, guys? We're back with another episode of Too Fast, Too Duelists. Just get it out of the way. My mic died. Been trying to see if I could get it to work. Just couldn't get it to work. It was causing a lot of problems when it came to recording, and the audio was just coming out really bad. I didn't catch it until after the fact. We did some test runs beforehand, but they sounded fine. But then when we actually recorded, everything got screwed up. So we're gonna do things slightly out of order. Yes, apologize ahead of time for the audio if it's sounding weird. I'm using my camera microphone instead of my actual mic. As you can see in front of you, I do not have the wheel up. Pretty much we already did the wheel when we initially recorded. So we already landed on our 2 skill cards. We already landed on our decks, or made up our decks. So because we already landed on our stuff, we already built the decks. Unfortunately, we also already did the game, so we kind of already have a lot more insight than we normally do on just spinning the wheel. Just for the sake of it, we're going to just pretty much play it out same as normal. Before we talk about the skill cards, just want to say, if you like the video, hit the like button down below, leave a comment down below what you think about the video. Also, hit the subscribe button, help us out reach our current goal of 100 subs so we can do a review of Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. With that out of the way, we're just going to get straight into the skill cards. So the one that I landed on for this episode was Now You See Them. This simply just has the effect of once per duel, if you have 2 or more Dark Magicians in your hand, reveal your hand and place any number of Dark Magicians from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Then draw cards based on how many cards you placed. If I only put 1 Dark Magician back, I draw 1, 2 Dark Magicians, 3 cards, 3 Dark Magicians, 5 cards. So this is actually one of the newer skill cards. Overall, pretty interesting card.
Being able to load your deck with Dark Magicians and then just draw crazy is pretty decent, as long as you get a good spellcaster skill behind it.
Yeah, typically it's pretty bad to have Dark Magician, so it's nice to have an alternate outside of the deck tech that you can play to just get it out of your hand, draw into your actual good cards of the deck. For the next skill, I know that Cody wasn't too enthused about this. It's Chemistry and Motion.
Still not.
Yeah, so this is a Bastion skill, or as Cody likes to say, Duel Links NPC.
He is. Look at him. Straight up vanilla ass character.
Yeah, he is. He's always been pretty vanilla. So much so, I'm pretty sure that there's a point where he actually dyes his hair white and switch out his yellow coat for a white coat. Yep. He does. Dyes his hair white.
Okay.
So this card is quite the mouthful. At the start of the duel, you flip this card over. Once per turn, you can place 1 counter on this card and then apply the appropriate effect. 1 counter, you discard a dinosaur monster, then add 1 dinosaur monster with a different attribute from your deck to your hand. 2 counters, normal summon 1 wind or water dinosaur from your hand. 3 counters, the name of all water dinosaur monsters you currently control become Hydrogeddon until the end of this turn. Then add 1 bonding H2O from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And 4 counters, remove all counters from this card. Then change the attributes and types of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls to Fire Pyro until the end of this turn. So a lot being said there. I guess we'll find out on the crackback, being our second attempt to see if it actually does anything.
I don't think so. I have a feeling it's gonna end up just the first time around.
Yeah, slight spoiler alert there, I guess. But yeah, so this is actually your second time playing a Bastion skill. I know you didn't.
It's actually my 3rd time.
Is it really?
No, it's a joke because we lost the footage.
A little bit slower today.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, these are the cards that we spun on. We're going to play the games all over again. And who knows, maybe we'll get a different outcome.
Maybe. If my hand opens crack, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and recreate this duel.
How's it going, everybody? We're back after 20 minutes, and I gotta tell you, Dakota's not the only magician in the family. Papa, I'm back, not better than ever, because I got a Bastion skill again. I am not confident in this skill at all, especially after what the deck I built today. It requires so much goddamn setup. Are we going to be able to pull anything off? It depends on whether or not my hand opens up crack or not, or if I can actually successfully stall Dakota out. So let's get into it. 3 copies of Duotarian. So he has the effect where I can discard from hand to add a bonding spell or trap from deck to hand. I don't know if I'm going to be using that or not, because I do run a couple copies of the bondings, but I do kind of also want to save him for the 1. So I'm not sure if we'll do that or not. However, If he's normal or special summoned, I can target a Hydrogeddon, Oxygeddon, or Duotarian in the graveyard, special summon it. The only problem is he's 5-star, so he requires a tribute. Next up, we have 3 copies of Hydrogeddon, 1600 attack. When he destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, I can special summon a Hydrogeddon from the deck. That's the best effect, I believe, of the 3 of them here. Next up is Oxygeddon. He's 1800 attack. His effect is absolutely worthless. If he's destroyed by battle with a Pyro monster and sent to the graveyard, each player takes 800 damage. Next up is 2 copies of Water Dragon. So it cannot be normal summoned or set and has to be special summoned with Bonding H2O. The attack of fire monsters and pyro monsters on the field becomes 0. So if you remember reading the skill, if I can max out the counters on the skill for 1 turn, all of Dakota's monsters will become fire and pyro. So all of their attacks will go to 0 then. And then when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target 2 Hydrogeddon and 1 Oxygeddon in your graveyard to special summon them. Now the boss monster I kind of want to use more, Water Dragon Cluster. So he requires Bonding D2O, or D20, I'm probably going to end up calling it. It's the same thing, it can only be summoned with that Bonding spell or trap. If this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect. Effect monsters your opponent currently controls cannot activate their effects for the rest of this turn. Also, change their attack to 0 until the end of this turn. And then quick effect, you can tribute this card, special summon 2 Water Dragon from your hand and or deck in defense position, ignoring their summoning conditions. Bonding D20 now because it requires 2 Duotarian and 1 Oxygeddon in my hand and or field to special summon either Water Dragon or Water Dragon Cluster. And then if Water Dragon or Water Dragon Cluster is sent from field to the graveyard, then I can add this card to my hand from the graveyard. Bonding H2O is next, tribute summon 2 Hydrogeddon and 1 Oxygeddon to special summon Water Dragon from hand, deck, or graveyard. I really only have this card in here because of my skill. I feel like it'd be dumb not to run at least 1 to maximize the skill's effect, but I do plan on using Bonding D20 more, hopefully. Book of Moon is next to stall out the game a little bit. DNA Surgery. Now this is not here to pair with Insect Barrier like we normally see from us. This is here because if I have Water Dragon on the field, if I don't have the ability to go into my skill and make his monsters fire or pyro for 1 turn, I can use DNA Surgery to make them pyro forever, and then all monsters attacks on the field will be 0 as long as he can't out this card. And then Floodgate Chapel to just make one of his monsters like non-equationable. Is that a word? I don't know. I'm a magician, not a linguist. Next up, side deck, we've got Jinzo. So if he's running heavy traps, which he has done a kind of the past few weeks, I wanted a Jinzo in here to shut that shit down. 3rd Book of Moon, just in case. 3 copies of Shrink, because battle traps tend to work pretty well for him, so I figured it's not a trap, but it might end up working well for me. And then final attack orders. So hypothetically, if I can get the Water Dragon DNA Surgery thing to work off pretty well, obviously he's going to be putting his monsters into defense position. So at that rate, I figured I'd put this in here to force him into attack mode.
On the 3rd Bugle Blast, I shall loudly announce attack!
And the extra deck is just 3 copies of Ultimate Dragon and 3 copies of Dragon Champion, all bluffs for Waking the Dragon, which I'm not even running anyway, but he doesn't know that. So that's it. Again, the main problem is the boss monsters are good in their own right. They just require far too much setup with multiple monsters, a spell card. It's like a way worse ritual or like tribute or fusion effect, not tribute. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to pop off or not. It all depends on how much I can stall out, but we're going to get out there and we're going to try to work our magic. Cody out.
All right, guys, we're back after 20 minutes, and this was the deck that I was able to create originally. As the skill gave it away, we have to play Dark Magicians. So I'm just playing 3 Dark Magicians. I want to try to get that skill live as quickly as possible, and I just made it all the different arts just for, shits and giggles. We're playing 2 Dark Red Enchanter. So this actually pairs up pretty well with the Legion, the Fiend Jester. Pretty much if you have this and the Jester on turn 1, you can actually summon the Enchanter and then immediately rip a card from your opponent's hand. But if you don't know what this card is, on normal summon, you get 2 counters. It gains 300 attack for each counter, and then you can remove 2 counters to rip a random card from your opponent's hand. And the Jester allows you to create a tribute summon, even if you normal summoned. And then it also has a secondary effect that when it's sent from field to grave, you can search your deck for a normal spellcaster. We're playing 3 skill Dark Magician. It has really good stats. It has the effect that each time a spell is activated and resolves, put a counter on this. You can send this card to the graveyard with 3 counters, special summon Dark Magician from the deck. We're playing 1 of the anti-magic arrows. I was thinking about playing 2 just in case, but this is mostly just here just because Cody's been playing a lot of battle traps recently. One dark magic attack. I was questioning whether or not to play this. This is essentially, Harpy's Feather Duster for Dark Magician. Just because if he is playing Waking the Dragon, I'm just running straight over into it. But we'll see. 2 Summoner's Art. This was a hard one to decide on just because it was either going to be this or a Lure of Darkness. Ultimately, I decided this because it adds the Dark Magician straight to hand, which helps us get the skill live faster. It's not once per turn. I mean, neither is a Lure, but the problem with the Lure is that I might run into a situation where I have to banish the Dark Magician, and I don't actually want to lose any of my copies. 2 Dark Magic Curtain. This is a way to pay half my life points and get Dark Magician out to the board right away. I might end up siding out both of these, if not at least one of them, depending on how the games go, just because paying half your life points is pretty big in Speed Duels. 1000 Knives just to pop a monster, and 2 Dark Renewal. This way, when he summons a monster, I can send his monster and one of my spellcasters to the graveyard, and then special summon another spellcaster from the deck. For the side deck, 2 Jinzo, just because he has been playing a lot of traps recently. 1 Zoma, just in case if he comes up with some shenanigans. And triple Book of Moon. This way, I can use it to either slow down his turn or stop my monsters from running into potential danger with his cards. Finally, just some bluffs for Waking the Dragon. Can't make any of these otherwise. Overall, that's the deck. I'm curious to see how the skill will go. My concern is that just because the skill allows you to draw cards, you have to draw these vanillas to do it. And otherwise, these cards are just sitting in your hand completely dead. They don't do anything on their own. And so you're kind of relying on having the skill live to put these at the bottom of your deck and hopefully drawing into better cards, which might not even happen. But other than that, not much to say about the deck. Let's just go ahead and see if we can make Cody disappear.
Well, we're back, Dakota.
Yeah, we're back.
I'm kind of the epitome of Randy Marsh this time. Like, I didn't hear no bell. You know?
Did you see the newest episode of South Park?
No, dude, I haven't been caught up in South Park in years now. It's been like 3 or 4 years.
They roasted Disney and more specifically Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
About time.
But yeah, maybe, I don't know. We'll have like different luck this time around.
Let's see. It's all on the draw.
Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. Here we go.
Man,
all right. All right.
Yeah, I thought about doing paper for the joke. I was like, he's going to expect that.
I mean, I was leaving it up to fate, so.
I'm also going to leave my hand up to fate, so I'm going to go second.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see what I can do here. We'll go main phase 1, and I'm going to start things off with a Summoner's Art. Go ahead, search the deck. We'll search for the OG.
Cool.
And I have a Summoner's Art.
Fuck. All right.
And we'll add the ugly
I forgot
one.
to activate my skill. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, I might as well.
Is that a draw 3?
That will be a draw 3. So I will put these to the field first. And then we'll put them to the...
you already had the one.
We'll put the... Well, I searched both of these.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. A little slow today, like you said.
Yeah. And I'll draw 3.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to normal summon Legion the Fiend Jester.
Cool. Are you going to tribute for the other card, Ripper card?
I'm thinking if I want to... I think I do, actually. So I'm going to use this effect. I'm going to tribute and summon the Red Enchanter. It will get the counters. I will immediately remove the 2 counters to discard a random card.
I already shuffled, so take your pick.
I'll do this one. What was that? Hydro Get On. Okay. I'm just going to follow it up with a set and a pass.
Stand by to main.
That is all good.
I guess I have to. Well.
Oh, I just realized I forgot to do my search on Fiend Jester. It's fine. I forgot it. Oh, what you're waiting for? Tell me what you're waiting for.
I'll show you. Normal Oxy get in.
Ooh, man, Duel Book's still being slow for me. It takes like a couple seconds for the pictures to load. Yeah, I'll activate Dark Renewal. So I'll target our 2 monsters and send them to the graveyard.
Okay.
Okay. And I will special summon, I guess, the evil one.
All right, well, that's my turn.
Okay. All right.
Can you put a 1500 monster on the board this turn? If so, you have game.
I can.
Yep.
All right, let's go. Dark Magician. Oh man, I'm so sorry, bud.
That was worse than either of the other two games.
All right, bud.
Okay, game 2.
Yeah, game 2.
Game 1.5.
That was really
Okay.
fast. Even last time we didn't have a game that fast.
Oh, speed run.
All right, let's see if I can recreate the same turn. Unfortunately,
I mean, your deck's been pretty consistent. I've seen all the same cards 3 games in a row now.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't, but I can at least recreate this part. I'm gonna activate the Summoner's Art,
All right.
and we'll grab the OG to hand. I could push like a lot more. Unfortunately, like I'm missing pieces though. So I think I'm just going to normal summon the Fiend Jester. I'm gonna set a card and pass it back.
Stand by to main.
All good.
I'll set 2.
Okay.
I'll pass.
I will draw. We'll go standby to main. I'm still missing stuff. Let's try it though. I'll activate Dark Magic Curtain.
Ooh. Okay.
I will pay half my life points and we will go digging. Let's go for the evil one. Anything here?
Nothing there.
Okay. I suppose I'll go battle and we'll go in for 25.
Okay. Is it during damage steps? Is that how that works? Shrink.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
That's 1250?
Yeah, obviously I'm gonna target him. Yes, it'd be 1250.
Okay. Yep. And 13. And that's all I got.
Stand by man.
All good.
Set pass.
Oh man. Okay. We'll go standby to main. I'll sacrifice this. Summon the Red Enchanter. Get the counters, and I'll use the Jester to get my search. So we'll search for my last Dark Magician, and then I will use my skill. I'll put both of these on the bottom of the deck and draw 3. I guess I'll use the counters and rip a card.
I already shuffled, so go ahead.
We'll go for the middle one. I guess I'll go battle. 25? Ooh, okay. So this will go down. 17?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Man,
What a speed run.
that was quite the speed run. Yeah, that was a lot faster than our last games.
I thought yesterday sucked.
Felt like you had actual plays the last time.
Yeah, I had actual, like, we were like, I don't want to go as far as to say I was competitive last time, but I was able to last longer than 2 turns.
Yeah, like you were getting bodies out. You were actually using your skill.
Well, here's my hand.
What is that? Oh, the D20.
Yeah, D20 and cluster was my hand. This was just DNA surgery.
All right, so what do you want to do? You want to go to good to bad or bad to good?
We'll start at the bottom.
Start
We'll
at the
work our way
bottom?
up.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you already know, but for the sake of everybody at home, my skill focuses around bonding H2O on the 3rd effect. I decided that card's not good enough, so I'm going to run bonding D2O, and I'm going to run the Water Dragon Cluster instead, because honestly, D20 is just a better card overall. It does require me to sort of play 2 bricks in the fact that I can't normal summon Duotarian without tributing, but I can do it from hand, so it kind of works around that. And then I can pull Water Dragon or Water Dragon Cluster from hand, deck, or graveyard rather than just Water Dragon. The problem I ran into this time was the same problem I ran into last time. It's just almost impossible to open up with all the pieces you need to actually get a big play. So I'm forced to play defensively until I can get them. And when you don't draw those defensive cards, you're fucked.
I feel bad for you there, bud. This is like the second time that you were stuck with like this type of like archetypal strategy, if that's what you want to call it. But
I think honestly this one's worse though.
probably. I mean, like you're right that D20 is better than the H2O. It's only better because it can tribute the stuff from hand. But by that point, this card might as well have just been like polymerization and making the Water Dragons into fusion monsters instead of main deck monsters.
Either that or retrain the monsters to where they sort of have the gen effects, where you can use one of those pieces can be from the graveyard.
Yeah.
That way, if you're forced to put one on the field for a body just to save yourself, it's not really going negative.
Right. I mean, there's quite a few different like variations of using a poly-esque type of card. I mean, we're seeing it a lot more common now where, you know, the poly cards just send the materials from deck to grave. There's like Fossil Fusion, which is actually kind of a cool card because it fuses one of your monsters in your graveyard, banishing it, and it actually banishes one of your opponent's monsters as well. But yeah, I think like something like that would be a step closer in the right direction. I know that this has a trap card. I don't know what the trap card does though. Could you have seen like potential in playing the trap card for this?
I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what the trap card is.
Oh. Yeah, this is a Speed Duels card. It's the trap card Bonding DHO. You shuffle one of the Duo, one Hydro, and one Oxy from your hand and or graveyard into the deck. Special summon one Water Dragon Cluster from your hand or graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one Water Dragon or Water Dragon Cluster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So that actually solves the problem of having the stuff in the graveyard instead of on the field in hand.
Wonder how I missed that.
When you search for these cards, like, did you type in Bonding?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, it should have
I
popped
don't
up.
remember. No, I don't remember anymore, honestly.
Maybe you just instinctually thought like, oh, it's a trap card. It's got to be bad because it's too slow or something.
But as far as your deck goes, I mean, what more is there to talk about? We saw how consistent it was, how easy it was to get Dark Magician out or into the field, or into your hand, I mean.
Yeah.
And then even without Dark Magician, I know they didn't really get to see it last time, or they didn't get to see it this time. But last time, you didn't even really need Dark Magician. You still swept me.
Yeah.
Because I had nothing that could beat over your skilled Dark Magician.
Yeah, skilled Dark Magician pretty much like won the game solo. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the deck is pretty cut and dry. I mean, until they add like additional spellcasters or spellcaster supports, I don't think that there's much that you can do to like revise what you see here for this type of a strategy if you're playing this skill cards more specifically. You have so many different spellcasters that you can throw into this deck. I think if you search it through like Dueling Book, you have like 4 pages of spellcasters to choose from in Speed Duels. Jester probably being like one of the better ones because it sets you up going turn 1 into the Enchanter and just making your opponent lose a card. And then you have like plenty of ways to just back it up. It's like you don't have to use the curtain right away. You can just sit on it until, you know, your, opportune moment. I cited it out, but like Dark Magic Attack being a Dark Magician exclusive like Feather Duster, and like still having plenty of room for additional tech cards. Like honestly, like Dark Renewal fits the strategy because everything you're playing is a spellcaster, but if you didn't want to play this because you have to use it specifically on a summon instead of it being like a free to chain type of card like Book of Moon is, you could just replace it. But again, it just has plenty of room for additional tech cards. Overall thoughts, I think that the Now You See Them skill is actually fairly solid enough. I don't think that it's great because it honestly doesn't do much for you. Like it takes the bricks out of your hand and replaces it with potentially non-bricks. But you still have the opportunity to still draw into the Dark Magician again. Unfortunately, Bastion just can't get a break.
That's what he gets for playing such a shit strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, stay away from Bastion cards. And if you're a fan of Dark Magician, try out this skill card. It's pretty good.
Well, guys, we have to apologize once again for a non-traditional episode. Bear with us, please. Next time we promise everything should be back to normal. Do feel free again to leave a comment and or a subscribe. Interact with the channel however you see fit. I know we normally do my closing words. My closing words are fuck Bastion skills.
Yeah.
But Dakota, any final thoughts?
Yeah, Dark Magician. I don't think that the deck has ever been that great, but always a fan. I enjoyed the classic YuGiOh cards. For as convoluted as the duel was with Arcana, I still enjoy it.
That's where we fucked up. We should have each been strapped to like a saw blade or something, like a saw stand or something.
Maybe for off camera, me and you should just try to find the Dark Magician skill cards, and maybe me and you just battle it out.
Well, all that being said and done, please pity me in the comment section. But we'll see you again next time on Too Fast, Two Duelists and Revision.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
What's our duet song? What do you want to sing with me?
Let's do WAP.
WAP? Oh,
Yeah.
doo wop, bop,
No.
bop, boo.
No, you sweet innocent boy.
What?
No.
Is that not?
WAP is that I think it's Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. It's wet ass pussy.
Oh, I never heard it before.
That's a bit you should keep in there. Or at least like maybe make that the stinger at the end. I don't know.